So today we are looking at Team 3. We've got some very, very good players in this that we want to go through, and some that, to be honest, are probably worth just leaving alone. Now, I've kind of taken out the Evo portion of this because most of them are above 95. You're not really waiting for an Evo for them then. Most Team of the Seasons that we've got that are 93, 94 will definitely be in the first line. I don't think there's really many other than the top names. Like, I would say Evo in Coleman to a 99 would be fantastic, but realistically, that ain't happening anytime soon. Now, in terms of the icons, we've got a fair few pretty decent ones, to be fair. We've actually seen Eusebio, we've seen a 98 Kelly, and then we have got a little bit of Stoichkov as well, which is, in general, quite an interesting one. Now, if we go to the talk of the town, we have got Casillas in the centre mid. Now, already looking at him, he's okay. He's not necessarily going to be the big one in there. I think we've had him before in some sort of aspect trying this in general to really see what his body type would be like outside. It just isn't going to work for him. I really don't think he could hold that centre mid value as much as what we've already got. He's going to be one of them ones that you'd put there as an outfield goalkeeper. That would literally be about it. It would be as useful as having somebody that is like last year when we had, it was in net. It was, I can't remember who it was. We had somebody in net and it was just useful. You might as well not have had a goalkeeper. Casillas will definitely do something with the ball, but I think he's only going to be useful. I don't think he's going to be a very usable card in my opinion. I really think when we think that we're going into footies next week, everybody's going to have quadruple playstyle pluses. Everybody's going to have useful quadruple playstyle pluses. It's just going to be, unfortunately, a little bit of a waste of time with him. Now, if we was to kind of jump up one more with that, we do have the likes of Eusebio, who is most definitely more of a usable player. He's coming in at 8.7 mil. He has got 5 playstyle pluses, and it makes you realise that now we've got, obviously, Smith with 5. There's just so many. Like there's so many options. Finesse, technical, rapid, incisive, low driven. It's kind of perfect even with having the technical in there. He is, and this is what it's going to be like, having all of these playstyle pluses. You just can't argue with it. And it's kind of the same a little bit with Smith, because realistically she's got all of the playstyles you need. We've got intercept, jockey, incisive, rapid, and finesse. There's just a whole load of everything in there, which definitely puts herself in a better category. Now, obviously being a left back, I mean, if this was more of a centre mid, it'd actually be phenomenal. But being a left back, even in the left wing, it's one of them that I do think she's just going to be kind of left behind with quite a lot of the left back still. I don't think there's really been, other than maybe Karchawi being kind of like the left back for the female version, there's not really been one that's broke through against someone like an Evo, Teo Hernandez, or a Nuno Mendes championship card, or the Nations League card. So unfortunately for her, I think for right now, you might go in the top meta because of the 5 playstyle pluses. And I think that would be the only thing that would put her there. Realistically, I would just go very usable. I don't know if I'd go any more than that, in my opinion. And then we do have Stoichkov, who... So if you're looking for coins, check in the description for Dorado. Depending on the coin amount that you're looking for, the delivery time is displayed on the website, and you'll see lots of different trusted sellers with reviews on specifics, and also the ability to be able to pick who you want. It will also show how much they have in stock, and obviously you can see that they are verified members. There is 100% refund ability and also 24/7 support if you need any questions with your coin needs. Also, if you head over to Trustpilot as well, you can see over 30,000 upvotes for them. You can see how reliable they are. Obviously great feedback across the entire board with Dorado. So when on checkout, make sure you are using the code JT11 for 5% off your order every time. Discount code JT11. Now let's get back to the video. He's good. I do like him. It's a great upgrade for him, but he could have been so much better. He's gone into the cam from obviously playing the striker left wing. I would have really liked him as a left wing, or make him a general cam. Like don't give him the intercept as a cam. I know he can play centre mid and CDM, hence why he's kind of gone with that intercept as well. So you would necessarily put him in more of a centre mid, but this card could have been so much better with just anything other than the intercept. Make him a cam, make him a right wing as well. Don't put the striker on him, which is what we obviously would want him for. It is a bit of a shame for him, as he would have been a deadly card going forward, and it just means we might not get a footis. Some of these cards, like for instance Eusebio, we might see a 99 of him if they are going heavily on them 99s. But when it comes to Stoichkov, when it comes to Kelly Smith, there's a lot of icons that have not got cards in these 3 weeks. They are going to be at the forefront. Are you going to be bothered about a Stoichkov in 4-5 more weeks as a 99 after getting R9, after getting Cruyff, after getting all of these players, even just normal players like Mbappe? You're just not going to bother with them, unfortunately. So he could have been better. He really could have, because you could have evoed him. You could evo him up there. And granted, yes, there's still a 5th playstyle plus he could get with an evo. But again, by then, you're probably not bothered too much. One that I'm very interested in. He is a player outfield going in net, and that is Peter Crouch. I am surprised we didn't see this last year, but he is, what, 6'7"? I've got to give him a go, because I genuinely don't know if he could be that keeper. I'm kind of going off speculation for him, but there's a chance. There's a really good chance that he might not be a bad goalkeeper. He's got a double goalkeeping playstyle plus. He's got long ball and pinged pass. And the stats are obviously there, as we can imagine. So I will check in on him again, because he really does have a chance to actually be a relatively decent keeper. So I'm very, very interested in the card. Which then I think, other than that, have we got any? We've got Yaya Toure. We kind of don't really have that many heroes going on about. It seems to be a very icon heavy, so I'm assuming Footies is going to really kind of ramp it up a little bit. But Yaya Toure with the 1.1 mil, obviously coming in with the quadruple playstyle plus. I don't know why icons are getting the 5, but heroes are not. At least one of them, because this Yaya could have again been incredible. Now, where I'd want to put him, I'd probably go more cam than anything, but I think you could play all positions. I really think this card has got a chance to be one of the better cards for just right now. When we get into, like I say, the footies, he's going to be beat by an Mbappe, beat by a CR7, of course he will. But for the right now, with the 4 playstyle pluses, the big striker up front, he definitely can get some damage done. If we go into Team 3, then we have got a bit of fodder. Naturally, you're always going to get it, and some players are just not designed for this, unfortunately. They are on the lower scale. Maybe you could get a bit of use out of them, but realistically, they're there for the kind of fodder portions more so than anything. Alanga could be one that I'd actually possibly use, and I think that's just purely going on a prem tax more than anything. But you look at the likes of kind of like a Fabinho. Again, are you really using him? Probably not. The only time you're getting through a lot of these players, if they are coming in during your past and present or something, that's really going to be the only time that you kind of get any use out of these kind of the mediocre players. And I could say I could sit here and put them in Evos, and yes, they'd get some lovely Evos, but realistically, again, are you putting Vlahovic into an Evo at some point? More than likely not. So you've got to be realistic with yourself with it and kind of utilize what we know for the team as such. Now, one of the first ones coming in from the big lot is going to be Coman. He is an incredible one, and with Elise being one of the big shouts in the Evos, Gnabry getting up there as well, and plenty of other Bayern players also, he's going to be a big shout if you do manage to get him. Quadruple playstyle plus with the low driven, finesse, rapid first touch. It's a pretty great combination from him. I do think when it comes to Coman, Elise, and it was like Gnabry back in the day, well, I suppose back in the day really, and all of the other wingers we got from Bayern, they were always top tier, and Coman is by no means any less of a shout. He is unbelievable when it comes to going up front. One that is going to be very interesting, and I don't know whether he hits or not, and it's a shame that we've just not really seen anything from him, is Foden. We obviously got the 92 Thunderstruck. It was an okay card, but technical was the only playstyle. We then got the obvious honourable mentions with the Travella. Again, it's mediocre now. But then we got the 98 left back, and again, very similar to Kelly. It's just not his position. Already having the quick step and technical in a left back, Jockey Bruise is good. It's just a bit underwhelming. To say he's 98 rated as well, the playstyle plus is needed to be better. They know that card, again, is going to be one of the topper cards of a name category. We need a lot better. So realistically, you're going to put him in kind of like a CDM role and play him as kind of like a Roman, because obviously pretty much all the players have got all of the pluses. I suppose you could put him at left mid if you really wanted to. You'd just have to pray that an Evo would give him a finesse shot plus at the absolute minimum. And even then, you're going to have so many better players. So unfortunately, they kind of have ruined him a little bit. He's going to be more of your attacking wing-back more so than anything. And I think purely on rating alone, you might get a bit of use out of him. But I think he will drop massively over the course of this week. Like, he's already at 600 on the first day. He is going down. Now going to the other side of Manchester, we're obviously looking at Diallo, who's an absolute sensational card. As a cheap beast as well. Absolutely love it. I don't want to pay more than 500k for him. Yes, playstyle pluses are always arguable with him. Incisive ping pass is nice. Low driven's great. Technical I'm not a big fan of, but it can work. All he needs is an Evo with a finesse shot. Whether he gets that anytime soon, but I do think you could get a solid amount of use out of him for the price. And this is where I think Foden's price will eventually go. It's just the fact that he's 98. 98 rated is very hard to come by at the moment, especially when we have no 99s. So it will be interesting to see when we get into footies how much Foden does drop in that time. Then if we have a look at a bit of Mane, beautiful card. He's kind of come back to life after getting his 88. 860k. Got the playstyle pluses down to a T. In the cam role, which I think will do him well. Can play the striker role as well. He's going to be one of the better ones. Most definitely. If you're building a Saudi team, it's starting to shape up pretty well. And if we're going for another cam-esque sort of player, it's funny how all these strikers do play cam. We're going into our boy Ollie Watkins. 118, very much like Diallo. Doesn't necessarily have the playstyle pluses that I would consider. Obviously, pinged pass, tiki-taka are nice for the cam aspect. Rapid, technical, very much like Foden. Why have both? Would have been nice with a low-driven, even if it got a finesse at this point. It would have been pretty good to have that from outside the box. So I think pretty much under kind of name pretenses, I might go here just purely for the rating side of stuff, and he will drop down when we get into footies quite quickly. Dybala. Again, another one that I'm surprised we couldn't have just waited one more week to get a better version of him. I thought his team of the season was a little bit lackluster. I thought he was good, but definitely not half a mil good. 175 for the CDM / centre mid. Now, he does have the finesse. Incisive, first touch, technical. The centre mid as a playmaker, as a box-to-box, would work all right for him. He's got the workhorse mentality with him. All you need is a solid DM. And to be honest, you get yourself a pretty decent card. He's not going to be in the top of the top, but he's definitely one to have a look at the minimum. Going into the female league, we've obviously got Russo as a 98. Incredible. Coming in with the rapid finesse, first touch and pinged pass. Beautiful playstyle pluses. 98 rated. Very easy one. Very easy into that. Very usable. Which then moves us to Sesko as a centre-back. Now, we know he's a big old boy coming in at 6'5", which is just massive. As a centre-back, decent. Incisive, long ball, aerial, anticipate. Good defensive playstyle pluses. Possibly could have just been with one passing and just kept a defensive one as well. Intercept or a block. Block would have been quite nice actually for him. So I do think he's got a bit of wiggle room with him in centre-back. But like we've said with a lot of the strikers, there's too many top-end centre-backs. He's going to be one that is a nice option for a shapeshifter. And that's going to be about it really. Gavi finally getting another upgrade. He managed to get his 92 birthday and then he went quiet. Whereas now we've got a 97 cam. Tiki-taka, check. Relentless, incisive, yes please. And a good old finesse. As a cam, he's going to be unbelievable. Genuinely, if you've ever used a Gavi's 92, you know full well that ability was going to be there. I think this one ticks the boxes in every avenue for me. He may drop down quite quickly, and I don't think that's by any surprise with the progression that we'll get in this game. But I do think for right now, in terms of a cam, he puts himself up there. And then finally we have got Jonathan David. Now obviously he's coming in with, again, another position change into the centre-back. I'm not necessarily too keen as a centre-back. He's what, 5'9". I'm just going to say he's not going to be worth it. I think for the people that will just, me outright dismissing him might not be the way, but I really think as an SBC goes, I probably wouldn't. Anticipate, obviously bruiser, block, pinged pass. It's great, but a 5'9" centre-back in this game hasn't really worked for me. I haven't seen many Cannavaros. I haven't seen many of kind of your Cordobas. So there's got to be a reason for that. And I think Jonathan David is in no exception there. But let me know with Team 3 what you think. Make sure you do like and subscribe on this. And I'll catch you all for the next one. Peace.